Well, we're just about to start a pretty big project here at home. We're going to be redoing the tile in the bathrooms in our house. We have 2.5 baths, and we're going to be doing the floor in 2 of them, and we're going to be doing the tile around the shower and the bathtub. The first thing I did was to measure all the bathrooms we're going to be doing, measure the square footage, and draw it out on Google SketchUp. After we had all of our dimensions, we had to buy the material, and we got lucky with the tile. We actually went to a contractor's auction. It was run here in Michigan at the Gibraltar Trade Center by a company called Peak Auctions, and we were able to pick up the tile we needed for 80% less than what it would have cost in the store. Here's an example of the tile we're going to be using on the walls for the shower. We got it actually for $1 a square foot, and in the store it goes for about $6 a square foot, so we saved a ton there. And then we also picked up these glass accent tiles, and we're going to be running that a line around the shower at about eye level. Also at the auction we got a toilet, and we're going to be replacing the toilet on the first floor as well. But the rest of the stuff we decided we're going to buy at Home Depot, and before you go out and buy it at full price, first I went to the post office, and if you ask for a coupon packet or a booklet, they have them behind the counter. They'll give it to you, and inside there's a 10% off Lowe's coupon, and Home Depot will price match Lowe's on those coupons. Now it has to be an official coupon. It can't be something you printed off online. But as for the materials, I made up an Excel spreadsheet, and I don't know if you need this, but I'll put it in the description at the bottom. So this is going to be our first time doing it. I'm sure we'll make a lot of mistakes, but we're going to be learning as we're going. Hopefully by the third bathroom we do, we'll be experts. But we're going to start with the easiest one, and that's the tile floor and the toilet on the first floor bathroom. Well, we're ready to start tearing stuff out, and here's the bathroom we're going to be working on. It's the half bathroom on the first floor, and as you can see, it's pretty small. It's only 5 by 5, 25 square feet. The first thing we're going to do is take off this door, take it off the hinges, get it out of the way. We don't need it. And then we'll take off the toilet and then start removing the tile. Well, I got the first part done, and that is taking the toilet off. The first bolt was no problem. I was able to unscrew that. This one was rusted on, and I had to cut it with a hacksaw. But that's what it looks like right now. And this is all the wax rings, so I'm going to scrape that off and then start taking up the tile. And you can see there's a little bit of, I don't know if it's water damage or what there, but it looks dry behind it. It just was popped up. So we might have to replace some boards, but we'll see when we get the tile in. Well, it's day 2, and the demo didn't take as long as I thought. I was able to remove the tile, the baseboard tile, and the toilet in just a couple of hours, maybe an hour and a half. But now you can see that we have some problems with the wood floor underneath, and it's a little rotted and it's a little spongy. So we're gonna cut this out. I'm gonna cut along here, go down to the studs, and put a new piece of floorboard in there. And hopefully that doesn't take too long, and then we'll be set to put in the tile. So as you can see, this is the first layer of board, and this was bad all through here, but this bottom layer, this is good, and this was solid, and I did some test holes drilling through it. So what I did is I took my saw and I set it down to 3/8 of an inch, and I cut where I knew the wood was good. I cut all along here. So this is good and this is good. I got rid of all the bad stuff. So now all I have to do is measure and cut out some OSB that'll fit in there, nail it into the studs, and that'll be ready to put the thin set on top of that and then put in the tile. Alright, so I measured out the board that I have to cut out, and I drew it all up, and I went downstairs, and luckily I had some 3/8 inch OSB, and here's what I cut out. And I had to do a little bit of trimming afterwards. It didn't fit perfectly, but it fits now, and I'm going to put it in with some liquid nails and then screw it into the joist. Alright, so I removed the old boards and I cut and installed the new board in the bathroom, but it's not perfectly level. The new board is slightly low and there's gaps around the edges, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some mortar and I'm going to fill it in and smooth everything out before we set the tile. I'm going to use the mortar I got from Home Depot. It's just the gray. It's $5.97. I talked to my friend. He said you don't need the thin set admixture. He said just mix it with water and it should be fine. So I have 2 buckets, one with water and one I'm going to mix it in. And I don't need a lot. And like it is with all these projects, it seems like everyone always says make it the consistency of peanut butter, and I've heard that for mixing almost everything on construction sites. So just like concrete, you want to mix it the consistency of peanut butter so it's not too runny and not too thick. Alright, well, it's the next day and the thin set leveling course that we put down on this patch is hardened and that's all ready to go. And now we're starting to measure and cut the tiles, and I started with this corner because you can see from the Google SketchUp that I did, that's this corner here. We're going to use a full piece. And you can see that I didn't put it right up to the edge because we do have this baseboard that we're going to use to hide it, so that'll be enough to cover the edge. And when you're measuring it out, you got to remember to use, we're going to be using 1/4 inch spacers,
So you got to remember that they're not going to be right up next to each other. So the first piece fits in fine, and the next piece that we're on is right here, and you're going to see that I'm going to have to cut it out. So I measured, I did have to cut part of the door jamb out, and I measured, and this is the piece we're going to remove. So we're going to take it down, cut it on the tile saw. And side note is, if you have one of these little suction cups, it's a lot easier to move the pieces around with than lifting up from the corners, because these are big tiles. The video you just watched was just one part from a series of bathroom remodel videos we did. Click next to see the next video in the series, or you could check out my bathroom remodel playlist to see all the videos we did while remodeling the 3 bathrooms in our house. And if you found this video helpful, feel free to like the video and subscribe. Thanks.